It is stranger than any comet, a discovery rewriting our knowledge of the cosmos.
Designated 3I/Atlas, this comet fascinated astronomers long before its current peril.
It is a visitor from beyond our solar system, a wanderer on a trip.
The object seemed pristine, untouched by the radiation and solar sculpting that weathers comets born within our own system.
This was an emissary from the deep cold between stars, a frozen relic.
By the time astronomers realized 3I/Atlas was drifting closer than expected, it was already accelerating rapidly.
Its path curved in a way that hinted at a perturbation. Perhaps the sun's gravity pulled it, or perhaps...
The closer it drew, the more erratic its light curve became.
The usual patterns of sublimation could not explain the timing or the sheer intensity of these surges.
Some hypothesized volatile compounds were venting suddenly, exploding pockets of pressure that acted like small rocket thrusts.
Others wondered if its composition was fundamentally alien, material not shaped by any process familiar to our solar system.
As it neared the inner solar system, telescopes worldwide turned to track it. Observatories from
The Hubble Space Telescope captured its expanding halo of gas, shimmering in iridescent blues and greens.
Meanwhile, ground-based spectrographs reported molecular fingerprints that did not correspond to any cataloged ices. There were spectral lines hinting at metallic hydrogen or exotic carbon, substances that should not survive at these temperatures.
Even before it crossed Mercury's orbit, astronomers called it the most peculiar object ever to enter our solar system.
By the third week, its motion became so erratic that orbital simulations began to fail. Predictive models diverged sharply. Attempts to trace its path failed. Then, radio observations from solar monitoring satellites began picking up anomalies.
The timing of these bursts seemed to coincide with the moment's 3I/Atlas brightness spiked.
Scientists tried to explain it as ionized gases interacting with the solar wind. Yet the regularity of the pattern hinted at something more.
It was as if the comet had a rhythm. Each pulse of light, each spectral flare, followed an evolving cadence.
Sierra seemed...
They realized the intervals followed a harmonic ratio, the same proportional frequencies found in music and molecular vibrations. They realized the intervals followed a harmonic ratio, the same proportional frequencies found in music and molecular vibrations.
The idea that this could be a coincidence strained credibility. The idea that this could be a coincidence strained credibility.
The astronomical community began to consider that 3I/Atlas might not be an inert, dead object at all.
As it entered the region past Venus, its tail expanded into a sweeping arc, visible even to the naked eye before dawn. Skywatchers called it unnerving. The shape of the tail seemed to twist in response to solar flares, curving around an invisible barrier.
Instruments measuring solar wind particles recorded subtle deflections when the comet passed. It was as if it carried its own magnetic field.
For solar physicists, this was deeply troubling. No comet, not even the great sun grazers, had ever exhibited such behavior.
If they have our Comet ATLAS after billions of years, there might be metallic or superconductive materials frozen within, remnants of a long-dead planetary system.
Or it might be something else entirely, a body shaped by processes outside all known astrophysics.
The days leading to perihelion were electric with anticipation. Instruments on the Parker Solar Probe and Solar Orbiter were ready.
But as the comet plunged inward, the data became stranger. Light curves fluctuated wildly, not just in brightness, but in wavelengths. The emitted spectra shifted periodically toward the infrared, then abruptly snapped back to the ultraviolet.
Some analysts compared the pattern to frequency modulation, as if information were being encoded in the light itself.
It's correcting its own orbit. This isn't natural.
Others warned against this, but nature rarely produces patterns this complex.
Then came the silence. Roughly 48 hours before its predicted perihelion, the comet's signal dropped sharply.
Optical telescopes saw nothing but faint haze. Radar and radio instruments reported only static. 3I/Atlas seemed to vanish.
When it reappeared, its trajectory had altered again. It was now dipping even closer to the solar corona than predicted.
It was heading straight for a region of immense radiation.
No object should have survived. And yet, the light from 3I/Atlas did not dim as expected. It intensified. The tail flared into a braided plume, bands of luminescent gas twisting like complex filaments of DNA.
Instruments recorded emissions that defied thermal explanation. UV bursts occurred at temperatures far too low for such radiation.
The comet seemed to be generating its own energy, rather than merely reflecting or absorbing the sun's.
A troubling picture emerged. The frequency of the comet's flares matched oscillations in the sun's own magnetic field.
Solar observatories detected microflares erupting in perfect synchrony with the object's pulses, as if the sun itself were responding.
The possibility that an interstellar object could influence solar behavior was unthinkable, but the timing was irrefutable.
Some theorized the comet's composition allowed it to act as a massive conductor, coupling magnetically with the heliosphere.
Others whispered darker possibilities, that something within 3I Atlas was controlling or harnessing the sun's energy deliberately.
Every deep space probe capable of observation was immediately redirected toward the spectacle.
The Parker Solar Probe, dangerously close, captured readings that showed an anomaly, density waves propagating outward from the comet.
Back on Earth, transmissions from the Deep Space Network began to register interference when pointed toward that region.
Engineers at first suspected equipment malfunction, but the pattern remained. The intervals matched the timing of the comet's light pulses.
The debate within the scientific community turned feverish. Some insisted it could all be explained through natural, nonlinear feedback.
Others pointed out the inconsistencies, the precision of the harmonics, the way emissions shifted predictably, the apparent intelligence.
Data scientists proposed the comet's outgassing might have created plasma structures capable of self-oscillation, forming a natural radio transmitter.
But others began to see patterns that looked disturbingly intentional. Sequences resembling binary encoding or even linguistic cadence.
As 3I/Atlas drew within a few solar radii,
Yet, the object's nucleus held firm. Images revealed a glowing core enveloped in a sheath of plasma. This sheath seemed to repel solar particles. It was as if an invisible barrier surrounded it.
The solar corona itself bent slightly around the object's path. A distortion so subtle it required sophisticated.
But once seen, it could not be ignored. The comet was not simply... If you enjoyed this look into the mystery of 3I/Atlas, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more.
Also, leave your comments below. Tell us what your thoughts are on Atlas getting too close to the sun. We want to hear from you.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.